care if you Shaquille O'Neal or whoever. You got to check in with me, and if you don't, something might happen. So he was indirectly telling everybody that you don't check in with him, you come to LA, you could get robbed or killed. You know, and many people have got robbed and killed for not checking in with him.
Okay, guys, got him back on the show. Ronnie Bowe, this time back in Miami, man. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, for sure. I first like to start off by saying that I don't like white people and I don't like black people. I only like real people. So if you know you're not real, whether you white or black, you know it's gonna be some things that come out my mouth that may be very, very offensive. You know, at this, you know, time and age, racism is just like outdated. You know what I mean? So real people got to come together. You know what I mean? God need an army. That's why I got this fatigue on my brand right now, because I'm at war. And I know who I'm at war with. It's not any white people in particular. It's not any black people in particular. I'm at war with all fake people, whether you black, white, or whatever else you could be. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to state that fact before we, you know, get too deep off into this.
I appreciate that. So have there been recent incidents with some fake people that have been annoying you?
Well, you know, I gave my personal phone number out on Matthew Cox show, and that did almost 1 million views. And then I went on another guy named Stevie Knight podcast that did about 500,000 views. Also gave my number out on that podcast for people to get free copies of my books. You know, I put a lot of information in my books that I feel like the world needs to be aware of. Some of those things I will speak on here. And yeah, you know, many of those people reached out as supporters who wanted to back my movement. And some of those people, you know, when they hear certain things and you know, they don't know what to think, they quick to turn against you. But the blessing that came from giving out that number, like I met a lot of good people. You know what I mean? I met a lot of phonies, and I also met a lot of family and friends of these celebrities. You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of these rappers have baby mamas who scarred from things they did to them, even their mothers and sisters, like, and they expose these people. So I have a lot of insight and knowledge about a lot of celebrities and a lot of powerful people that I would also like to reveal in this interview. But yeah, I just want all the fake people in the world to know, just fuck them, whether they black or white. You know, I stand for God, I stand for integrity, morals, values, and there's not a lot of people like me in the world right now. So, you know, it's a war, and I hereby on this podcast today wage and not just wage, I declare war against all the fakes and phonies, and it's gonna get real ugly within the next few days and weeks to come.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are gonna get exposed this year, you know?
Well, they already been getting exposed, but this year they gonna be taken down by me and my army, you know what I mean? So I'm just declaring war right now.
Who are you trying to take down? Is there anyone in particular, or just all fake people?
All fake people for sure, but in particular, see, I had a fallout with Sean Atwood because they wanted me to be a guy who get on a podcast and just slander prominent black figures like Jay-Z and Diddy. Now, I have personal issues and personal problems, and I even got shot in a situation that allegedly involved Jay-Z, you know, in New York. And it was my fault. You know, I did a publicity stunt that may have been dumb. I went out there for a podcast. I thought it would be a good idea to go viral, to go to Marcy Projects where Jay-Z was born and raised, and to shoot some footage there. And the people who, you know, called me out there for the podcast, I believe they backdoored me. I won't reveal them right now because if anything happens to them, then it may fall back on me. But
If you're building something, doesn't matter if it's a business, a brand, or just a better version of yourself, then you already know. The work never really stops. Your brain is always on. Ideas at 2 a.m., problems at 3, plans at 4. But here's the truth. If you never shut down, you're going to crash fast. That's why I use Sambrosa. It's not hype. It's not some trendy sleep hack. It's a legit syrup that helps you fall asleep when your brain won't let you. You take it and 20 to 30 minutes later, you're out. Not groggy, not drugged up, just to sleep like you're supposed to be. Then you wake up clear with no brain fog, no dragging yourself out of bed, you get your hours in, and you actually feel like you slept. Sleep isn't optional, it's not self-care, it's strategy. If you're not getting it right, you're leaving energy, focus, and money on the table. Sambrosa helps me sleep, it helps me execute, that's the only reason I talk about it. You want to get ahead, start by getting real rest. Check out the link below in their website, www.sambrosa.com.
Yeah, I went out there and I guess people were prepared for my show up, and when I got there, I got shot.
Damn.
For the record, I wasn't the one that blamed Jay-Z. You know, people heard what I said about Jay-Z months prior to that, and they was saying that, well, it's obvious that Jay-Z had something to do with it. That wasn't no content or no propaganda that I put out there. The podcasters, the new media, whatever you want to call it, they put that rumor out there, and that's what it is. At the time, I couldn't even speak on it because I was on federal probation still, and you know, it was things that, you know, details about that situation could have got me back in jail. So I just decided not to speak on it, but now I can speak on it. And now I believe I can even act on it because, you know, for one, I don't have that leech on me of being on papers right now, you know, so I could be more outspoken. I could travel when I want to travel, and I'm a free man now, and I have a army behind me by the grace of God. I even have a girlfriend who's a high-profile attorney. So, you know, I'm ready for any legal battles that may come with this war that I'm waging, and it is what it is.
That's what they try to do to you when you have information and intel, right? The legal battles.
Yes, and for like, trust me, I don't like Diddy. I actually just wrote Diddy with a proposition the other day. Like, I don't like him, and I made this clear to Natanya Rubin, who is like a sister to me. And for those who don't know who Natanya Rubin is, in 1999, I believe it was December, sometime 1999, there was a shooting involving Diddy, his artist Shine, and Natanya Rubin was shot in the face by Diddy. So that's, you know, with her being a sister, like a sister to me, that's a real reason to not like Diddy. Many people may have their own reasons not to like him, but my thing was people, you know, highlight, you know, the terrible allegations against him, but we need to also point a finger at those elites, you know, behind Diddy, because they do way worse things. Like, you know, we was just partying. We had a good time last night. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that there may have been coke around, other drugs, you know, that could stimulate your mind and put you in a better mood. But these higher elites that I'm referring to, they get high off, and it sounds like conspiracy theory, but I do have real insight, and I am connected to real people who have really experience, who have had real experiences with these people. And what these people do is they drink human blood to get high. And just how cocaine can stimulate you and make you feel on top of the world, drinking human blood could give you a greater feeling than that. Like it stimulates the adrenochromes, and in particular, they want the human blood from children in fear. And I will try to explain the science behind that briefly. Now, as a child, your blood is more pure than an adult, and not just that, but if they can instill fear in you before they kill you, all that adrenaline that comes from the fear, it it ends up in the blood that they take from you. And when you drink it and consume it, all that adrenaline just build up, and it gives you like a supernatural high. Like you could astro project and other things, and
Wow.
you come up with all these crazy ideas, and it like they really thrive on this. It's people who really thrive on things like that. So, you know, Diddy, he a big guy in the eyes of many, but to me, he's a peon to the elite slave masters who have been controlling him over 30 years. Like in 1991, one of his events was headlined by Heavy D at the time, right? I don't know why many people don't talk about this, but 9 people were killed and like another 29 were injured. That was a ritual to you know, show his allegiance to those elites, and that's how he got in the position that he in. And it's crazy because in 2021, that a similar incident happened at a Travis Scott event, and at this event, you know, the doorway was like it was designed in like the image of a demonic mouth that people were walking in, and I think his ritual was to top Diddy's because 10 people were killed at his event and many others injured. And you know, a lot of these artists, it's no more conspiracy theory. Like even when I first started learning about these things, I thought it seemed like, man, it just sound crazy. But now after giving my number out and talking to family members of these celebrities and these elite people, it's like, wow, so they really do this. And I gotta, as a man with courage, you know, I gotta speak up because I don't think nobody else would speak up about, you know, what I'm speaking on right now.
Damn, that's crazy. So you really think there's rituals going on at these public events?
No, I'm absolutely sure. And I don't want to expose people close to me because then maybe they won't want to tell me certain things. But there are people close to me who have worked for some of these elite people. But I'll keep that to myself for now.
Yeah.
I just want people to also know that, like, I'm not no religious person. So when I say this, when I say Jesus is king, I'm not a Christian, Catholic, none of that. I have studied every single religion you can think of. I honor all the prophets, Prophet Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, all the ancient African deities. Like I study them. I look up to some of their teachings, but when it all boiled down to it, Jesus is king. And when I say that because when you get in a certain position in life and it comes down to where these people who control everything want you to sell your soul, one of the things that you have to do is denounce Jesus. You don't have to denounce Prophet Muhammad, Buddha, or none of these other so-called messiahs or prophets or whatever. They want you to denounce Jesus, and it's a reason behind that. Like what Jesus stood for, if people like really knew what he stood for and really understood his teachings, they would see why. You know what I mean? Because he is the way, the truth, and the light. You know what I mean? And you know, I just want to pave the way for his comeback because he don't want to come back to deal with this right now, but he will return, and he may return through somebody like you or somebody like me, and people gonna look at us like we crazy, but he will return.
I hope so. Where does Kanye fit in all this? Do you think he's on the good side or the bad side? Because he seems to be going against the system, but at the same time, he's putting out these dangerous messages, right?
Yeah. Well, as you are aware, me and Kanye were supposed to collaborate not long ago. And in spite of all the silly things that I felt like he did, I thought it was all genius. I thought he was doing and saying things for free publicity because, I mean, every time he do or say certain things, he's the talk of the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? He break the internet. However, I have to disassociate myself from Kanye now, and I'm no longer interested in working with him, no matter, I mean, how great he is. I mean, he definitely is a genius at his craft as far as music and his ideas, but some of the things, like, I just can't associate. I don't care how much money you got, how much influence you got, none of that. If you, publicly, and maybe it was just bothering him, but you get on social media with the world watching, and you tell everybody that you've been sucking dick since you were 6 years old. That I'm hurt by that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't got nothing against the LGBTQ community. I'm a person who I honor and value my manhood. So if I'm around a gay man, I just hope that they respect that I'm not a gay man, and I would respect that they are gay and that's how they want to live their life. And, they have their own sexual preferences. I have mine. I only like women, you know what I mean? And I just can't associate myself with nobody who publicly say that they've been sucking dick since they was 6. And the thing is, like, the reason why the collaboration with me and Kanye didn't happen even prior to that is sometimes he would say certain shit that would make you think, like, bro, what is you talking about? Like, some things you try to overlook, but, and I was already hearing that he was like a Diddy type of person too, not in a, as worse as Diddy, but that he participated in some of those acts at some of those Diddy parties. Method Man spoke out about it before he publicly admitted that he sucked dick. Method Man said he caught Kanye West in the bathroom at a Diddy party sucking dick. So I just don't want to associate myself with nobody like that. You know what I mean? Like, the LGBT community is strong. I have nothing against their success. However, when you allow men in sports, especially like in female boxing, you allow a man to beat on a woman in sports, like, legally, like, it's just going too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not homophobic, but if I go in the public bathroom, I just don't think it's okay if a woman is in a public bathroom and a man walks in, but because they identify themselves as a woman, then it's okay. I just think it's still boundaries. So I have to stand for what I stand for.
Yeah.
In the midst of their agenda.
Yeah, man. We'll see what happens with Kanye. He's been moving internationally a lot lately, I noticed,
Yeah.
I don't know if he pissed off some people in the US or something. All the record labels, maybe.
Yeah, he pissed off a lot of people. He pissed me off. And I was the guy that was able to just sit back sometimes when he do stupid shit and just laugh at it, like, well, another publicity stunt from Kanye. But now it's like, bro, I can't support this part. You know what I mean? I can't support that. So, I mean, I hope he, well, I don't even hope nothing for him no more. It's just, fuck Kanye from here.
Wish him the best, honestly. People say he's mentally ill. I don't think he is. I think he's just, just speaks his mind.
Yeah, but sometimes certain things should just be kept to yourself, I guess.
Well, he's got FU money, so he's probably at the point where he don't care anymore, Yeah,
he obviously don't care no more. Well, I guess he care a little bit because he knows to stay from certain environments because he know that he done pissed off the wrong people, and I guess he care for his life still.
Yeah.
He just don't care what people think about him.
Well, you got some big artists going against the labels now. Drake is suing a big label,
Yeah, and this is the perfect time for that. You know, that's another thing. Like music is spiritual, and these government elites is all about population control. The number one method for population control is music. Like I teach this stuff in my books, and I'll try to briefly explain it now, but we have 7 energy centers in our body, right?
Yeah.
And there are instruments that can activate and manipulate those 7 energy centers. Like, for example, the bass in music manipulates the bass chakra, which is the first energy center in the body. So, you know, the beat alone, it puts you like in a hypnotic state, and then the words program you subconsciously. So, for example, when you put out certain music in hip hop and you got these young dumb artists, not to talk about them, they just lost. Not to say nothing bad about them, they just lost and confused. And we come from certain environments where we don't know no better. We didn't have role models, but they brag about killing, and that convinces and influences the youth to feel like they have to be able to say they killed somebody to be accepted by the culture. And the same music industry that, you know, basically forced these artists to put this type of music out, they also own the prison industry, and it works hand in hand. So, okay, we convinced them to brag about selling drugs, committing crimes, killing people, and that's gone. They know the music is going to influence you to do that. Like most of the consumers don't know what's happening to them, but they being subconsciously programmed to think and act on what they hear in this music. And then those thoughts lead to action, and the consequences that they stupid ass end up locked up for a long time or forever. And I mean, the execs win both ways. You know what I mean? They making more money than the artists off the music, for one, and then when you get locked up, you know, they benefit from that too. So,
damn.
Yeah, hopefully I could change the message, because I'm not innocent myself. Like, I grew up as a rapper, you know, and I bragged about the drugs that I was really selling in the streets, the shootings I did. I never like been so evil to want to brag about killing nobody. Not that I ever killed somebody or not, but it's just like, even if so, like, even if the person you killed was the worst person on earth, they still have a mother, a grandmother, a auntie, a son or niece or something that love them. So it's not about them no more. Like, that's done. Now you affecting other innocent people, and that ain't cool at all. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's nothing to brag about, and it kind of hurt me to see that these young artists think that that's cool to kill and like glorify it. You know, even if you have to kill, like, for survival or whatever the situation is, okay, maybe that could be understandable, but it's never okay to glorify taking a life. You know what I mean?
You're starting to see these young artists get some fat prison sentences.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Some of them are getting, who's that? One guy got like 80 or 100 years.
Yeah, I think you're talking about TJ. And,
Yeah.
and that's another thing. Like, I just saw yesterday that NBA YoungBoy reached out to Lil Durk, and you know they had like a Biggie and Pac type beef. Like everybody was engaged in a so-called beef, and you know, I actually reached out to both of them and asked them to do exactly what NBA YoungBoy did, and I'm not taking credit for it, because there may have been other influences that pushed them to do this. But NBA YoungBoy reached out to Lil Durk and apologized and told him he wish him well on his case, and he hope he get out. And that's like very inspirational, because like these two young men influenced millions of other young men to feel like beef and going against each other is like fashionable and okay and acceptable. It's better to be able to come together and have some unity and push peace in our community. So I'm inspired by that. I don't want to take credit for it, but I do believe that my words to NBA Youngboy and Lil Durk may have broadened their perspective on life and made them see things different. And I'm just I'm happy that that happened. And I think that would inspire a lot more people to understand, like, you can't even enjoy life when you're into it with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's not okay to beef. It's not okay to just shoot and kill people. If you have to for survival, okay, but like, don't glorify that shit, 'cause it's not cool.
Well, there's a lot of, I think, anger in people, and especially, like you said earlier, the music brings that out as well.
Yeah.
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 They're just angry at the world.
Yeah.
Is that how you were when you were younger?
Yeah, I was very misguided when I was younger. I started selling drugs when I was 11 for school clothes, video games, food, stuff like that. And I didn't see nothing wrong with it at the time, because the 14-year-old and 15-year-olds who I was looking up to, they was doing it, and they was my motivation for wanting to do it. I'm seeing them wear nice clothes and count a lot of money and be able to drive cars as teenagers. I looked up to that. I wanted to be like that. And, it took me to start going to jail at an early age to wake up, start reading books, see that it's more than life. And that's why God got me in this chair right here in front of Sean Kelly now. I have a voice now, even though I've been banned on like Facebook, Instagram. They just now let me create another page in my name. So Matthew Cox told me that Facebook was making some changes to where they will be more like X as far as allowing free speech. So maybe that's the case. But I do have a new Facebook, a new Instagram I will be giving you. Also want to give my number out again for those real people. Look, again, I don't care if you black or you white. I don't like black people. I don't like white people. I like real people only. And I don't care who's offended by that. But if you real, you want real information, I'm willing to give out free copies of my books. You can call my personal phone number that I have right here, right now, which is 414-587-1919. And I don't want to take up too much of your time, Sean, 'cause I know you're a busy man, but I also want to make another point. Now, recently, people been seeing this guy named Big U in the media, right? I don't know if you're aware of that, but he was a gang leader from LA. And, according to popular belief, he was responsible for the death of Nipsey Hussle, may have been responsible for the death of P&B Rock, Pop Smoke, a lot of other artists who got killed in LA. And it's because of his childish mentality, which was, if you come to my city, you have to check in with me to be protected, and that childish and foolish mentality led him to where he at right now. He in jail facing life right now, and I think that he will eventually get life in prison for his actions. The point I want to make about that, though, is that I actually went to LA on this, it's called Nothing to Something podcast, right? And I went there about 4 months after Big U was on there telling the public, nobody's safe. You come to LA, I don't care if you Shaquille O'Neal or whoever, you got to check in with me. And if you don't, something might happen. So he was indirectly telling everybody that you don't check in with him, you come to LA, you could get robbed or killed. And many people have got robbed and killed for not checking in with him. But rewinding the history of these gangs, like, these gangs were started for positive reasons, and they were started during the times where racist white police officers were sicking dogs on people, kids, a lot of just black people in general. So they realized that if they walk to school 30 deep or go wherever they go 20, 30 deep, that's less likely to happen. They pick on the few, but when you come together, it's like, well, that may be a problem. So it started not just because of that, but for community development. Even like Big U, he was a Crip. Crip stand for Community Reconstruction and Progress.
Wow.
And they mimic they gang philosophy on, what the GDs was doing in Chicago, which is still today, like, I guess you could say the biggest gang in America. At least it appeared to be when I was in the feds. I was with the GDs and we had the most numbers, but things went left because of people like Big U who want to abuse their power and extort people. And he tried it with me. And I'm not no tough guy at all, but I don't know why nothing happened to me because I was only out there with one other individual, my close friend Pluck. And one of their rules was you can't even wear jewelry.
Wow.
We had jewelry on. Like, it's disrespectful to them to come there and wear your jewelry without checking in with them.
What?
It's foolish. But
it's crazy.
I think, and I learned this from Dick Gregory. He was explaining the power of being just fearless. I think that because they didn't sense fear, even though it was just me and one other person, like maybe they felt like he just so fearless and confident, he got to have somebody sitting around protecting him if something happens. So maybe we shouldn't do nothing. But I just want to give a message out to the public and to the world. Like, it's nothing to fear. We all gonna die eventually. Like, some people greatest fear is death. Like, we all gonna die, and fear allows the population to control. Fear allows a gang to control you. And when you don't have fear, and you got the courage and the faith of a Jesus, like, they can't control us no more. And these gangs and stuff that people want to be involved in, it's all foolish. Like, which gang have a nuclear weapon, a military? They don't even have their own finances. Like, no gang has their own currency. You know what I mean? Like, when you look at the US dollar, you see former slave masters on these dollars. George Washington was a slave master. Benjamin Franklin was. Andrew Jackson, most of them were slave masters. And we flash this money, and brag about it, but who are we glorifying? Slave masters. Like, so if these gangs ain't about like real educational development, economic development, political development, social development, and spiritual development, then it makes no sense. And that's why I'm here. Like, I don't want to be a leader because a lot of responsibility comes with being a leader, and it could frustrate you and wear you down. So I don't want to take on that responsibility, but I am taking on that responsibility because nobody else is doing it. And I feel like God gave me the knowledge and put me in this position to lead. So I'm a lead, and anybody want to join this grind mode army, this GM also stands for God Mob. For the male members, it also stands for Goddess Mafia. For the female members, for the children, it stands for Great Minds. And again, I don't want to lead, but God put me in a position to lead, and those who follow me will not be let down. I'm willing to die for this. Like, I'm at war with the fake. I'm at war with these elite masters who, sacrifice people to drink their blood, sacrifice innocent kids to drink their blood. It's not about Diddy. Fuck Diddy. Fuck Jay-Z. They peons. Actually, they appear to be titans, tycoons or whatever in the eyes of the public, but they nobody, and they misleading our culture. And I'm here to put an end to that. And one other thing, Sean, I appreciate you. I was not afraid to speak my mind last time, but I know you had sent me an email about the cease and desist from Jay-Z attorney, and I was thinking like maybe Sean, maybe I shouldn't. And then my lawyer was with me, so it's like maybe I shouldn't say things. But a lot of these podcasters are police, and they work with the FBI, the CIA to control a certain message and a certain narrative. And just hanging out with you, we had a good time. We partied last night, talking to you, knowing you. I know you're not one of them. And, real can recognize real. So I don't see you as nothing but a real person. And I respect you for having me and allowing me to speak my mind on your platform.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I think I've seen that, though. I've seen people call out Vlad, Adam 22 for being informants or whatever.
Yeah. Vlad, Adam 22, Academic, Trap Lord, Ross, Whack 100. He one of the biggest rats. You know who Whack 100
He's
is.
Adam's co-host, right?
Yes, they the ones like set up the goofies out there who just got locked up. Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon. Like these dudes was on No Jumper, talking about crimes that they apparently committed because they just got indicted for these same crimes that they on here talking about. And like you had people like Whack 100 and Adam 22 knowingly like just instigating this shit and like trying to make them say incriminating things. And it wasn't that recent, but in January I had just turned down an interview with No Jumper. One of their co-hosts, his name Poetic Flacco. We was supposed to do an interview, and then he was saying, I think you would be better off going on No Jumper. It's a better platform. And I told him, bro, look, they do too much. And this was before the Big U shit. Like, I seen the clown, and they was not finna get me on there and try to instigate nothing to make me say something incriminating. That's what they do. And so I turned down the interview with No Jumper because of that. And then months later, now these people get indicted for things that they said on No Jumper. You know what I mean? So, it's obvious what they doing, but we have a lot of naive people who just don't know how to see through certain things. That's why I honor platforms like yours.
Appreciate that, man. I'll be rooting for you. Anything else you want to close off with here?
Not really. It just, again, I'm gonna give you my website. I do have a website for this. The apparel is available. My books are available on the website. And for those who, last time when I gave my number out and said I would give out free books, I should have put a date on it because people still been calling expecting free books, and that was like probably a half a year ago. So I'm gonna say, I don't know when you're gonna put this
2 weeks.
out. In 2 weeks. So within 30 days from there, everybody who calls my personal phone number, which is 414-587-1919, subscribe to Digital Social Hour, and I'll give you any one of the books that you see on the website for free. You know? So
respect. I love him, man. Check him out, guys. This guy knows a lot of stuff. See you guys next time.